Is China now adopting Bitcoin? Is China allowing Bitcoin in the country again? Is China going full Bitcoin crazy? Are the people excited about Bitcoin in China? Well, that's something we got to talk about today. So welcome back to the Blockhash Podcast channel. Let's talk crypto. Make sure to check out our Patreon. We do chart analysis on the crypto market Monday through Friday, so check it out. It's only the price of a couple cups of coffee every single month. Also, make sure to check out our sponsor, Pika Crypto. They are revolutionizing the intersection between gaming and Web3. Links are all in the description. All right. So Binance's CZ recently came out saying, first of all, he saw a video on CCTV, which is the China Central Television Broadcasting Network. And they had done a broadcast on Bitcoin. And CZ mentioned that historically, coverage like this led to bull runs. When China was showing interest and China was showing that they wanted to embrace Bitcoin a little bit more, usually that's really good news. It's a positive sign. Especially right now with the way things are going in the US around crypto. You know, it's good to see at least crypto having some bright days in other places. So let's kind of read into this. So what happened? What's going on? So why was Bitcoin seen on TV in China? Because usually it's banned, right? I think this has a lot to do with Hong Kong as well. Anyways, Binance CZ, Chengpeng Zhao, that's his full name, said that Chinese-speaking communities are buzzing after state broadcaster China Central Television appeared to broadcast a segment about cryptocurrencies that featured the Bitcoin logo. He wrote that it's a big deal and that historically coverages like this lead to bull runs, and not saying that the past predicts the future, but even it's not financial advice either, but at the same time, it's a big deal. There are some correlations there. He shared a link to the website, to the CCTV website for the broadcast. I was going to show it to you guys. I went to pull it up. I think they pulled it down. Maybe it got too much attention. But it showed a segment that featured what appeared to be a Bitcoin ATM in Hong Kong. And besides the large blue logo right here for the ATM, it was an option that said buy Bitcoins was visible. Like, so yeah, in the video, they were pretty much highlighting the ATMs in Hong Kong. They were talking about Hong Kong, the Bitcoin adoption there, the new rules they passed in Hong Kong. And yeah, so that's pretty much what the broadcast was covering. They also highlighted NFTs as well, which was very interesting. Now, Hong Kong recently announced a licensing system for virtual asset trading platforms and exchanges, and China has prohibited the use of cryptocurrencies back in 2021. However, Hong Kong, in order to do this stuff, generally needs some approval from Beijing, from China. So is China getting exposure to crypto through Hong Kong? That's the interesting tailwind question here. So the Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission on Tuesday released consultation conclusions about proposed regulatory requirements for virtual asset trading. More specifically stating, a significant majority of respondents agreed to our proposal to allow licensed trading platform operators to serve retail investors. The commission said the SFC will implement a number of robust measures to protect these investors, including ensuring suitability in the onboarding process, good governance, enhanced token due diligence, admission criteria, and disclosures. The guidelines for virtual asset trading platform operators will become effective June 1st, which ironically is the day the debt ceiling payments are due. So it's kind of interesting that this stuff is coming out at a time where it's very bad for the US as well. I wonder if there's a correlation. Anyways, the rules will cover safe custody of assets, segregation of client assets, avoidance of conflicts of interest, and cybersecurity standards and requirements expected of licensed trading platforms. Hong Kong's comprehensive virtual assets regulatory framework follows the principle of same business, same risks, same rules, and aims to provide robust investor protection and manage key risks. So the SFC CEO, Hulia Leong, however you pronounce your last name, said in a statement, this will enable the industry to develop suitability and support innovation. So again, Hong Kong, another city coming out wanting to be a bastion of innovation for crypto and blockchain and Web3, DeFi and NFTs, everything under the umbrella, whereas the US is stepping on its own feet. Nothing is stopping the US other than itself, and it's very, very embarrassing. Even Europe has rules now and is ahead of the US. So CZ pointed out something very interesting, very important, and I think there are more ties to what is going on in Hong Kong to China. And I do believe that China is allowing this in Hong Kong because they want controlled exposure to the industry, but they don't want it in mainland China as of right now. So I think this is kind of what's going on in a nutshell. Would you put it all together in a breadbasket? You know, something is boiling up in the crypto space. We can go to the chart really quick. I want to pull up Bitcoin and just show you what we've looked at in our chart analysis on Patreon. We've been following a very crucial box that Bitcoin has been consolidating in, and an inflection zone that it has a hard time breaking down to. Now, we all were predicting a $25,000 breakdown, but it has come down now twice and tapped that. And what I'm trying to figure out is, are we really going to go lower before we get to June 1st? Or are we going to tap down here, and this will be more like a double tap, and then we start to move up back into this box where we can find a nice sweet spot before breaking out? Because we got an ascending higher low trend line forming since early March and beginning of the year, which is also colliding with this inflection zone that we have around 25,000 around July, the beginning of July. So these are some possible scenarios. This is not financial advice, but since we do everything from an educational standpoint, I want to show you what I'm looking at. So we could hit here, we could bounce, and we could start our move up. That is one scenario. We could come down and really pound this line for a while and come back up. That is probably the worst case scenario that we're looking at, because in reality, I do not see us just tumbling down, right? We're not in that kind of market right now, to be honest. That's just not what we're going to see. I'd be shocked. So all the 12K Bitcoiners out there, go fuck yourselves. I think we hit this. It's likely we come down and tap our ascending trend line again. RSI will be oversold at this point, just like we were in early March. And then we make our move up back to 30,000, potentially violently, because volume has been very low. And that's something to keep in mind, is we've had very little movement, very little volume movement. And even though we've had these dips here, it hasn't like collapsed. So we're either going to collapse down to 25,000, we're going to test it, and then, you know, this trend line will be the key metric to hold, or because 25,000 was the tough place to break above last time, and we did it. So I expect to come down, test, go up. Now, one last thing to look at, the moving averages, very, very important. We are coming up on the, is this the 200? Yeah, the 200's in blue. So we're coming up here on the 200. It's just under here, right in our inflection zone. So we could come down as far as 25,000 and tap it. I don't really see us going below the 200. If we do, it'll be very short-lived. So we're very close to this market turning around. We've already retested through all these trend lines, which is fine. They're not as important. The 200-day is the most important as we move into a bull market. So I want to keep that in mind. On the Bollinger Bands as well, for shits and giggles, we've punched on this bottom band consistently. More notably, we haven't been able to stay above the moving average. So when we do, and we go to retest that upper Bollinger Band, that will confirm our next move up. All right, so that confirmation will be important as we move into the near future. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like the video, comment down below your thoughts on what's going on with Bitcoin in China, Bitcoin in Hong Kong. Very fascinating, very interesting. Share this video with someone that you think might want to learn about this and that's also curious. And subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very, very much. See you guys tomorrow. Cheers.